Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to PlayOnSports.com's Friday night game of the week as we come to you live from Carl Bostic Field in beautiful Lilburn, Georgia. They call it Carl Bostic Field, but it has always been known as the Big Orange Jungle. About 30 miles north of Atlanta, we bring you the visiting Grayson Rams and the Parkview Panthers. As usual, our pleasure to be with you here at PlayOnSports.com for the Friday night game of the week. Along with the big man Chris King and our entire Play On Sports crew, this is Kevin Beck. And Chris, we've got a big one here tonight. A tale of two programs that have gone in different directions, but both have been at the top. Right now, it's Parkview struggling to get back, and Grayson really taking the country, as it were, by storm with their top ranking, not only in Georgia, but they are in the top 2 or 3 in the country, depending on who you read. Grayson Rams really at the top of their game right now, and Mickey Kahn doing a great job with the Rams season this year, as well as for the past about half a dozen or 8 years they've been on top, whereas the Parkview Panthers were the top program in the area, but now not so much. So we've got a big one tonight, and let's start first with that Rams offense. They posted 5 straight seasons of 10 wins or more, culminating in last season's Class 5A state championship, and 2-0 right out of the gate.
And Kevin, they started out in the Georgia Dome and defeated a very, very good McEachern ball club rather handily. And then they had a team from Miami of Central come to Loganville and play Grayson. And once again, Grayson had no problems. This team, this school has only been around since the year 2000. And in 12 years, this Grayson/Loganville community has grown and grown, and so has their football. Some of, if not the best football in the state and in the nation, as you mentioned, and they really, really are going to give Parkview fits tonight here on their home field. Speaking of Parkview, Kevin, it's interesting. They're 1-1 on the season, and they've scored a total of 3 points.
Well, it just goes to show you don't have to score a lot. You just have to score more than the opposition. And they have done just that to find themselves at 1-1 on the season. And the Parkview Panthers do make their way onto the field. A fairly packed house here at the Jungle. Chris, let's talk for just a moment about that Grayson defense. They are absolutely star-studded over there, and they're led by the consensus number 1 national prospect, Robert Kemdici, and we're going to see an awful lot of him tonight. Number 1, working both sides of the field.
I don't think there's anything else that can be said about this kid. He's phenomenal. Clemson has locked him up. He's committed to going to play in South Carolina for a few years. The kid's phenomenal. The Grayson defense as a whole is really, really good. Kemdici, of course, committed to Clemson along with Kamara and Wayne Gallman, but they've also got some other guys on their team like Zach Barnes, Jordan Germany, who plays on offense, and Ryan Carter. These guys are loaded not only on defense and on offense, and we should see a huge, huge dose of Grayson's offense here tonight at the Big Orange Jungle.
All right, very quickly, let's talk about the Parkview offense. They're 1-1 on the season, as you touched on. Only 3 points in their victory, but that's all you need to do if the opposition scores none. But they have not been as dominant as they have been in recent years. From 95 to 2005, they were the Grayson. They won 10 games or more. 11 seasons they spanned, including 4 state titles and a bunch, just a handful of national accolades for the team on that Parkview offense. They have really been the standard bearer here in Georgia. But right now, as we talked about, the tide has turned over to Grayson, and we are going to see that Grayson offense to start this one.
Talking about Parkview's offense really quick, you got to talk about the 6'1", 200-pound running back Chris Carson. He's going to get a lot of the ball tonight. Also look for Brandon Sullivan and guys like that to step in. Rob Youngblood will be the senior who will step in and play quarterback for Parkview tonight. And Kevin, I'm excited. You and I have a little history in Gwinnett County. We kind of walked around in awe when the game started, but now it's time to be quiet and play some football.
And we are underway at the Big Orange Jungle, and it looks like that will be good enough for a touchback. A nice job on the kickoff there, Kurt Hickman. Cory Schaeffer going to take a knee there for the Grayson Rams, and we will see that high-powered Grayson offense out to start this one. Chris, you talked a little bit before the game. Mostly a ground-and-pound type of program here on offense for Grayson. Not a lot of explosiveness, but when you've got Kemdici out there and some of these other guys, David Fennell, Wayne Gallman, Jordan Germany, you don't need to air it out. They are very successful at the ground and pound. First series, we are underway. McTier is going to go right up the middle. Not much happening there. About 4 for Grayson. Bring up a 2nd down and 6.
Tackle made that time. Shaq Green and others.
Just underway from the Big Orange Jungle. Thrilled to have you here on PlayOnSports.com, the Georgia High School Association Friday night game of the week. The Grayson Rams visiting the Big Orange Jungle to take on the Parkview Panthers. And again, a tale of two teams that have gone in different directions over the past decade. Parkview trying to return to dominance, and Grayson, they are there as the dominant team, not only in Georgia, but one of the top teams in the country.
It was Wayne Gallman on the carry that time for Grayson. Going to bring up a 3rd down and short for the Rams.
And, Chris, we're seeing it right out of the box right now. Keeping it on the ground. They have got a very sound running game, a big arsenal of guys that can carry the football for Coach Mickey Kahn, and doing that just to start the football game. A great night here in North Atlanta. Beautiful for Friday night football. Keep it on the ground, coming near side on the sweep this time, and plenty of room. Aries McCall is loose, and he will get down to the 40-yard line inside Parkview territory.
And Kevin, all that speed out there with McCall, Fennell, Gallman, they are really, really going to wreak havoc on the Parkview defense tonight.
And, Chris, all season long, we've seen a lot of programs go with the no huddle or the sugar huddle or the hurry up. And it looks like we're seeing more of the same now from the Grayson Rams and Mickey Kahn's unit as they start this one. Fennell behind McTier. And they're going to go right side this time.
Aries McCall again on the carry.
Gain of a couple there. Parkview defense pretty stiff over there on that left side.
Parkview 1-1 on the season. They beat Peachtree Ridge 3-0, and then they were shut out by the Norcross Blue Devils 20-0.
Number 44, Micah Finley, one of the stars of that Parkview defense, Chris. 6 foot, the senior, 210 pounds of him, and he moves very, very well. 2nd down and 8. Opening series movement on the near side. That'll cost Grayson 5.
A little anxious that time, a little anxious.
Like Alex Griffin, the tight end, a little anxious to get off the football that time.
This is what Grayson's offense is all about, ball control.
And Chris, we had an opportunity to meet with Coach Cecil Flo in his office before the game. We'll talk a little bit more about his philosophies on basically what is rebuilding his Parkview Panthers program. And he had a lot of interesting things to say about how his team is shaping up this year and the fact that they are in a rebuilding process. 2nd down and a long 5. They're going to keep it on the ground, give it to Fennell another time. Nothing happening there.
Pretty good tackle that time by Shaq Green.
Now, Chris, we saw it last week. Buford really played a good, solid football game. Gainesville turned the football over 5 times, but Buford tended to hurt themselves a little bit with penalties to stall drives. And Grayson finds themselves in a similar situation now, 3rd down and long. McTier's going to keep it on the ground another time. They go back to Fennell. He's down to about make it the 34-yard line, just shy of the 34, and it will bring up a 4th down. And it is decision time for Mickey Kahn.
Big Kyle Williams on the tackle that time for Parkview. Didn't take very long to figure out what they're going to do.
Not even a discussion. Straight out of the huddle, straight to the line of scrimmage. They're going for it on 4th down and 4. And we're going to have whistles before the snap.
Looks like an official's timeout.
That might give Cecil Flo just a second or two to talk about what he wants to do with this 4th down situation. 4th and 4. First series of the ball game. Grayson Rams took the opening kickoff from their own 20-yard line. 9:23 remaining in the opening quarter.
And Kevin, what confidence booster it would be for Parkview if they were able to stop Grayson here on their opening drive on 4th down.
And Cecil Flo made just that point, Chris. They have got to play every down. They have got to make sure they are mistake-free and take advantage of opportunities. This would fall in that category. This is a huge opportunity, as you said, for Parkview to hold that high-powered ground-and-pound offense. And now it's turning into a full timeout. Officials want to have a chat there It's a big break for Cecil Flo and the Panthers. And now they're bringing both squads back to the line of scrimmage. So neither team charged with a timeout, but they did have a chance to talk strategy here. So they call it third down.
Interesting.
And Cecil Flo is furious on the near sideline.
I think it should be fourth down.
So we've got an early talking point already in this one. McTier looking over to Mickey Kahn for the signals. And on third down we go. And we've got a late flag coming in on the far sideline. Aries McCall on the carry. He got a couple. Nowhere near the first down, but already a little confusion out there and a point of contention for Cecil Flo and that Parkview side. We'd have to go back and recount those downs, Chris. I thought for sure we're facing a 4th down and 4, but not to be.
But the penalty is going to be holding against Grayson, and I don't want to keep talking about that point over and over, but I really think it was 4th down.
Everyone up here in the press box thought it was 4th down as well. But here again, another opportunity for Parkview to stall this drive. Call it 3rd down and 15 now.
Still unfamiliar territory for Grayson's offense. Not comfortable in 3rd and long situations. They bring out the spread offense here on 3rd down.
McTier joined in the backfield by number 4, Wayne Gallman. One of those highly touted recruits that we talked about during the pregame show. First time we've seen shotgun, and first time we've seen McTier drop back to fire the football. He's got a man absolutely wide open, a juggling catch. Touchdown, Grayson. Cory Schaeffer on the receiving end. Looked like he was going to juggle it out of his own grasp, but he stayed with it, good concentration. And just like that, Grayson goes from ground and pound to quick strike, Chris, and they're on the board.
Okay, so maybe they're not uncomfortable in 3rd and long situations.